Hello lovely people, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all well. So today, as this video goes live, it is WhatsonStage Awards day. They are an awards that is voted for by the public and I think possibly judges. You'd think I know because I do these predictions every single year. Can I tell you the correct information? No. So basically every year I like to look through all of them, give some predictions and make it into a video. It's a fun video to do. I'm always wrong. That's the best of it. I actually did something with my friends. Last year we did a predictions video where we held up pieces of paper and gave our predictions. And we did that again recently, but instead of being all together as a three, they did it as a duo, and then I just did my own little thing in my bedroom. So I thought I'd reuse these, recycle if you will, and go through my predictions of who I would like to win, which is the papers, and then who I think probably will win. So if you want to know my thoughts, my feelings, my predictions, then stick around and we'll get into it in 2 whole seconds. So we have a lot to get through. I have a lot of names to mispronounce, so we better get into it. Starting with best performer in a musical, there is generally 6 nominations. In this category, here's my phone, looking all efficient. We've got Michael Humker-Limsey from Newsies, Natasha Hodson from Operation Mincemeat, Ed Larkin for Little Big Things, Cassie Levy for Next to Normal, Nicole Scherzinger for Sunset Boulevard, and also Marisha Wallace for Guys and Dolls. Now my hope for that prize goes to the only Marisha Wallace. I'm hoping to be there for closing cash change of Guys and Dolls in a couple of weeks, and I feel like giving Marisha this just before she leaves the production would be super cool. To be honest, I feel like I'd be pretty happy with any of them winning. They all have their moments. I've seen 3 of the 6. Actually no I didn't. I've seen 2 of the 6. I saw Ed in The Little Big Things, a superstar. 100% would be happy with that win. And I also have seen Marisha twice at Guys and Dolls. Natasha was off when I've seen Operation Mincemeat twice, and Michael was actually off when I went to see Newsies, but I've heard great things about both of those. I feel though, are we gonna go like the popular vote and be like Nicole Scherzinger or Cassie Levy? You know, 2 massive names. I feel like one of those is gonna get it, but then you have also got that this kind of a voted by the public kind of situation. So is it going to be a Newsies or an Operation Mincemeat? Basically I hope for Ed or Marisha, but I would be happy with any of them. Next up we got best supporting performer in a musical. The people who are up for that, and I'm going to really apologise for the first name, but I'm going to go for Anring Ferrer from Miss Saigon at the Sheffield Crucible, Jack Malone for Operation Mincemeat, Jason Manford for Wizard of Oz, Cedric Neal for Guys and Dolls, Amy Trigg for Little Big Things, and Jack Wolf for Next to Normal. I am gonna go with my prediction being Jack Malone. Again, popular vote. Jack is an awesome person, an amazing performer and great in that role, or many roles, as they proved on that big Night of Musicals thing that was on BBC. Just how many different costumes they have to go through in the entire show. Again, I'd be happy with a Cedric Neal win. I love Cedric Neal. Previously mentioned, want to be there for the cast change, but I feel like no one will be surprised by who I picked as my want to win. Amy Trigg. Oh, I loved Amy in The Little Big Things, and just everything about the character that she portrays in that show. I was like, Amy's getting my win, my hope, my win. Fingers crossed. I will cry a little bit if that actually happens. Next up, we've got Best Performer in a Play. This one we have, again, apologies for pronunciation, Papa Esidu. Apologies. For The Effect at the National, Joseph Fiennes for Dear England at the National and also at the Prince Edward Theatre, James Norton for A Little Light at the Howard Pinter and Savoy Theatre. I could get this role on the telly. Taylor Russell for The Effect, Andrew Scott for Vanya, and Sheridan Smith for Shirley Valentine's. Being the only one that I saw, I've gone Joseph Fiennes. I don't actually know how, well, that's gone to the floor. I don't actually know who I think is going to win this one, because if we're going for like popularity, it's been a long day, then you think Andrew Scott for Vanya, plus they have just released that in cinemas, so it'll be in people's minds. Little Life had a great life on the West End in theatres, so James Norton could win. It could be Sheridan Smith though, who knows. My prediction, my hope is Joseph Fiennes, because I really enjoyed Dear England, as you will see by some of the other pieces of paper I have to show, including the next one, I believe. Sneak peek, but yeah, I think that one's going to be close to call, so I'm not calling it. I'm just going to put my want forward. Moving on, and I've pretty much spoiled this one, but Best Supporting Performer in a Play, we have Michael Austen for The Effect, Will Close for Dear England, Bryony Corrigan for I, Daniel Blake, Luke Thompson for A Little Life, Zubin Vala for A Little Life, and Anjana Vasan, apologies again, terrible pronunciations by me, for A Streetcar Named Desire. I've already told you, kind of want it to be Will Close. If you haven't seen Dear England and you haven't caught it in cinemas, if you missed it in the West End or at the National, I have not laughed so much at a play at one character. Will Close played Harry Kane, and it was just brilliant, and I loved it. So 100% I would like a Will Close win, but if not, because I heard great things about this tour and it being the only tour on the list, Bryony Corrigan for I, Daniel Blake would be a happy other winner. Next up, we have got Best Takeover Performance. The nominations are Caris and... why did I make that Welsh? Apologies. Caris Anderson for Tina, the Tina Turner Musical, Corey English for Back to the Future, Mason Alexander Park for Cabaret, Lucy St. Louis for Wicked, Rebecca Lucy Taylor for Cabaret, Amy Luke Wood for Cabaret. I don't want it to be any of the people from Cabaret. I mean, they did a fantastic thing, but 3 nominations in one category is a bit much. I mean, saying that, we all know that one of those 3 is probably going to be the winner of this one. And if I have to pick it out of those 3, I'm going to go Amy Lee Wood. But my paper, I went for Lucy St. Louis because I have, 1, heard great things, 2, once upon a time I saw her in Motown the Musical, also with Cedric Neal I believe, but that's by the by. Um, she was a powerhouse, and I would really like to go back to Wicked at some point to see that show. So I put Lucy down. But I didn't really have much knowledge on that category because I have not yet seen Cabaret. It is on my long list for the year. It was on my long list for last year and I didn't see it. So that kind of wiped out half the competition. So yeah, we're going to move on. That's fine. Right, next up we have Best Professional Debut Performance. I love this category. I feel like this should be a category in the Olivier's, because it's like giving people this, like, congratulations, you did a great job, you shall be big, kind of pat on the back. So the nominations for this one are Rita Bernard-Shaw for Trouble in Butetown, Laura Dorks, I feel like that's been mispronounced by myself, but sorry, for Frozen, Lou Henry for Six, the UK tour, Grace Hodgett-Young for Sunset Boulevard, Louis McCartney for Stranger Things, and Andrew Richardson for Guys and Dolls. My prediction for that one is Grace Hodgett-Young because one, Sunset Boulevard, massive thing. Number two, she is soon to be going into Hadestown and then possibly going with the show to Broadway. And three, I've heard great things. My debut, and you won't be surprised if you know me and my choice in shows, was Andrew Richardson. Something about that man on the stage in Guys and Dolls, it did something to me. I loved him as Sky, and yeah, that's basically why I put him as my want, but I do predict a Grace win for that category. Next up we have Best New Musical. I'm trying to whittle through these, but it is going to be a long video, so congratulations if you got this far. We've got Newsies at the Troubadour Wembley Park Theatre, The Little Big Things at Soho Place, Mrs Doubtfire at Shaftesbury, Next Normal at the Donmar, Operation Mincemeat at the Fortune, and A Time Traveller's Wife at the Apollo. Now, this is going to be a massive shock to you all, but my prediction for the win, I loved the show so much. It was one of my highlights of last year. I cried buckets, I laughed, I cried. It's a great place to see the show. This music is amazing, like poppy but also musical theatre, favourite kind of music. It couldn't have been anything else for me. I am so hoping that Little Big Things wins all the awards that it is available to get, both with this and hopefully with the Olivier's, because this show needs another life. I don't think I'm going to have the chance to see it again before it closes, because it closes very shortly, the 2nd of March, I believe. But I love it with all my heart, and I hope it comes back or stays around or does something. Please. I think the win, with it being kind of popular vote, might be a Newsies win or a Mincemeat win, but we shall see. Next up we've got Best Musical Revival. Now this has Guys and Dolls, Carjafal, Lord of the Rings, Sound of Music, The Chichester, Sunset Boulevard, Savoy, and Wizard of Oz Curve / the London Palladium. I have been very fortunate to see 2 off the list, and of course we all know where this is going. I did think when I was looking through my I would like this person to win predictions when I did that video for my friend, I was like, this is very like biased, but it shows my love for a special collection of shows. So unsurprisingly, my want is for Guys and Dolls. Again, I feel like it could be a Boulevard win because of its popularity and how it was so groundbreaking. It personally wasn't one that I wanted to watch myself, but that's by the by. Everyone, it's like different strokes for different folks. I would like a Guys and Dolls win, but I have a sneaking suspicion it could be a Boulevard win, a Sunset Boulevard win, if you will. Sticking with the this is who I think I would like to win because I've seen it and I really loved it, we have Best New Play. So take your predictions whilst I read out the nominations. We have A Little Life at the Howard Pinter / Savoy, Cowboys at the Swan Theatre, Dear England at the National / Prince Edward, Hamlet at the Swan Theatre / Garrick Theatre, The Motive and the Queue at the National, and Stranger Things The First Shadow at the Phoenix Theatre. Like we said, I, with my wants, was very much I would like this person to win or this show to win because I love it with all my heart, so I put Dear England down. I do think it's in with a shot, you know. I truly do. I feel like in that one my want is going to have to fight with possibly A Little Life, possibly Stranger Things, possibly Cowboys. I feel it could be any of them, to be honest. Plays are not my forte. I try and watch a few a year just so I've got a little bit of balance on my musical tastes. I'm wishing for a Dear England win, but I'm happy for it to go to anyone because I'm kind like that, you know. We've got next up Play Revival, A Streetcar Named Desire at the Imelda / Phoenix, The Effect at the National, Merchant of Venice 1936 UK Tour, Pillow Man at the Duke of York's, Shirley Valentine at the Duke of York's, and Venya at the Duke of York's. I mean, again, not much knowledge on the system, but because of hype and discussion that I heard from close friends who are theatre people, I put down Merchant of Venice 1936. I heard great things, but again, I feel like it could go to anything. If I had to stick my neck on the line, I think the win will go to Vanya. Again, like I said previously, they have streamed it, or they are soon to stream it into cinemas, which obviously means that there is a lot of popularity and want for the show, so that is my prediction. I don't know on that one. Moving on to something I do know, next up is Best West End Show. So for this, our nominations are Back to the Future, Cabaret, Les Mis, Moulin Rouge, Phantom of the Opera, and Six. I didn't know what to say here. I feel it could be a Cabaret win because out of all of them it's the most recent and the most hyped, if you will. I went for Six, mainly because I want to go and see it again. I went with right, if I was given all of these shows on a plate with like a ticket for each one, which ticket would I pick up? And I went for Six because I haven't seen it in a while, and that was basically my thinking. Still going, we have got Best Regional Production. We've got Boys from the Black Stuff. We have Choir Boy, In Dreams, Lord of the Rings, Miss Saigon, and Too Wrong Fu the Musical. My prediction basically came off the back of two of my friends seeing this production and singing their praises, or singing its praises, if you will. And it's one that I kind of wanted to see but never got the chance because I didn't know where, one, the theatre was, and two, how to get to the theatre, and time was not my friend when it was out. But I went Lord of the Rings. I mean, it could do. I heard great things. I like the sound of the slight, not immersiveness, but slight difference on how it was all set out. Quite enjoyed the sound of it. Unfortunately, didn't have the chance to see it. I wouldn't actually like to predict where that's going to go though. Maybe Miss Saigon, because that did sound like it was quite, I don't know if groundbreaking is the word, but quite prominent. If not, maybe Tuong Fu. I don't know. I wouldn't like to predict that one. I wouldn't like to predict many of them, and yet we are like 20 minutes into a video. So hey ho. I know when I've spoken too long because the battery needed changing, so if I'm slightly different position, that's why. But moving on. Next up, we've got Best Off West End Production. For that, we have Flowers for Mrs. Harris, George Takei's Allegiance, Othello, Rebecca, Scouts the Musical, Shape of Things. I can't actually remember what I predicted, or I thought I'd say, oh yes I do. Flowers for Mrs. Harris. Again, heard great things. Also heard great things about Allegiance. I'm going for one of those two being the winner. Rebecca, I've heard not so great things, so when that came up on the list I was like, but everyone I've heard talk about it has said not the best. So there must be Rebecca fans out there. But people I consider my friends, not so much. Moving on, we've got Best Concert Event. Ta-da-da. I mean, I'd just call it Best Concert. But Best Concert Event, we have got Ariana DeBose in concert, we have Darren Criss, Evita in concert, Love Never Dies in concert, Once in concert, and Schwartz at 75. I was very lucky to have seen three. Yay, go me. I saw Ariana DeBose, I saw Love Never Dies, and I saw Once in concert. I wanted to be there for Darren Criss, was unavailable. Hey ho. I gave my want award, if you will, to Once. I really enjoyed watching it on the stage. It was my first experience seeing Once on a stage, if you will, even if it was a concert version. I also quite enjoyed Love Never Dies, but I feel like it was the production of it was just excellent, and that helped move the not so great things about the story out of your mind a little bit. But at the same time, everyone got very excited in the interval when they saw Andrew Lloyd Webber. It just knocked it down like a peg for me. It was like, yes, he's here, he's going to be here, this is on for like one night. Anyway, moving on, because that's my opinion. I don't actually know which way that one's going to go, so I'm just going to not answer. Next we've got Best Direction. We've got Polly Finlay for Assassins, Rebecca Frecknell for A Streetcar Named Desire, Rupert Gould for Dear England, Nicholas Heitner for Guys and Dolls, Jamie Lloyd for Sunset Boulevard, Sam Mendes for The Motive and The Queue. My prediction, or my want, if we will, I went for Dear England with Rupert Gould. Also be happy with a Nicholas Heitner Guys and Dolls win. I feel like it's going to be a Jamie Lloyd win. Like I said, Sunset Boulevard, very popular, very popular, and obviously kind of out of the box, and people like different wins awards, you know. But it's not mine really. Next up we've got Best Musical Direction / Supervision, or supervision. Go me. We have got Mark Aspinall and Sinead Saunders, probably butchered her first name, sorry so sorry, for The Lord of the Rings, Nick Barstow and Nigel Lilly for But Next to Normal, Kat Beveridge and Nigel Lilly for The Witches, Tom Brady for Guys and Dolls, Bridge Theatre. Why did I give it full title? Anyway, Stephen Brooker, Afonso Cascado, Trigo and Stephen Metcalf for Stephen Sondheim's Own Old Friends, and Alan Williams for Sunset Boulevard. Now, I'm not going to beat around the bush, and apologies for the dog ball in the background, but I can't take the ball off him. The noise will be worse. We have got, as my want and my hope and my prediction, because if you ever seen or heard the cast recording for this show, Tom Brady, come on now. The whole brass band-ness of the music in that show, and the band, oh, I love the band. The band in Guys and Dolls, it's like nothing else. And because you can be immersive and do standing, it's like nothing else. I love it. Next up, we have got the, what I like to call the no-brainer award, which is Best Casting Direction. We have got Alistair Coomer and Naomi Downham for The Motive and the Cue, Anna Cooper for Next to Normal, Jill Green for The Little Big Things, Bryony Jarvis Taylor for Dear England, Bryony Jarvis Taylor for The Witches, and Jessica Ronan for The Stranger Things. The reason I call this the no-brainer awards, Jill Green, Little Big Things, that cast gets two thumbs up. It's the best cast in the world. It's inclusive. It's like nothing else. I just love it. It's a no-brainer. It has to win. That award is insane. I will fight anyone who disagrees. Next up, we got Best Choreography. We have Fabian Aloisi. I don't do names. For Sunset Boulevard, Matt Cole for Newsies, Ellen Kane and Hans Langhoff, pronounced that incorrectly I'm sure, for Dear England, Stephen Mear for Cage, Arlene Phillips with James Cousins for Guys and Dolls, and Henrik H2O Sandy for Free Your Mind. I feel like it's going to be a Newsies win, because why would it not be? My want, my hope, my dream. Stephen Mear for La Cage aux Folles. Why? 2 words. Tap dancing section. That's 3 words. We're moving on. I love Stephen Mear. I love him. Him and his choreography. Every time. Next up, we have got Best Costume Design. The productions. We have got the nominations, and they are Buddy Christie and Deborah Andrews for Guys and Dolls, Lizzie Clacken for The Witches, Ryan Dawson Late for The Cage aux Folles, Gregory Gale, need to get my teeth in, Gregory Gale for To Wong Fu the Musical, Gareth Pugh for Free Your Mind, Grace Smart for Cowboys. Now, I can't quite remember who I put, so we're going to look together. My want award, of course it was Ryan Dawson Late, a work of art. If you have never, if you missed, should I say, the production that happened at the Regent's Park Open Air Theatre over last summer, just Google the costumes, works of art. However, if Ryan does not win, for the 2 words of Henry Hoover, I would like it to be Lizzie Clacken. But at the same time, if when the cast changes, there is no need for some of the costumes from Guys and Dolls, especially the, what are they called? The girls that sing with Marisha. I'd quite like one of those like silver bodysuits with a bit of pink feather. You know, just for wearing around the house, going to work in. Moving on, we're getting through it. Hopefully I can get it done and it not be like 45-minute video. We've got up Best Lighting Design next. The nominations are Rory Beaton, Lucy Carter for The Time Traveller's Wife, John Clark for Dear England, John Clark for The Effect, John Clark for Stranger Things. John Clark has been busy. We have Paul Constable for Guys and Dolls and Jack Knowles for Sunset Boulevard. Again, I cannot remember who I put. Okay, I went for, I can't even read my writing back to front, Rory Beaton and Lucy Carter for Time Traveller's Wife. I did quite enjoy the lighting design. Think about it. I really enjoyed it. I can't speak on most. I do feel like it could be another Sunset win, because although it's quite like black and white and flashy lights, it's different. People act different. I don't know what those sounds are. Moving on. We've got Best Set Design, and the nominations are Miriam Buther, apologies, for Stranger Things, Bunny Christie for Guys and Dolls, Lizzie Clacken for Assassins, Lizzie Clacken for The Witches, Chloe Lamford for Phaedra, and Morgan Larch for The Newsies. The Newsies? Who am I? For Newsies. I feel like I know what I put, but I'm still going to check. I thought that's what I put. I quite enjoyed the set at The Witches. It was cleverly done, and the fact there were so many hidey holes that people could pop out in just genius. We've got 3 left to do. Next up we got Best Sound Design. We've got Paul Arditi for Guys and Dolls, Paul Arditi for Stranger Things, Dan Balfour and Tom Giddens for Dear England, Adam Fisher for Lord of the Rings, Adam Fisher for Sunset Boulevard, Tony Gale for Next Normal. Again, I don't remember what I put because I filmed the video for my friend about 3 weeks ago. Okay, that does make sense. Paul Arditi for Guys and Dolls. Again, going back to what I discussed about the music direction / supervision, being in that space, everything just bounces off everything. Everything is so clear and just 10 out of 10. So that's why I put it. Best video design, we have 59 productions for Stranger Things, Nathan Amesy and Joe Ransom for Sunset, Andre Goulding for Miss Saigon, Andre Goulding for Time Traveller's Wife, Ash J. Woodford for Woodward for Dear England, and also Ash J. Woodward for The Witches. Now, my prediction, or my put forwardness, will probably not win, because the basic premise for my knowledge on the production, there was a lot of video production at Sunset, and that shall probably win. However, how it was done in Time Traveller's Wife was so ingenious. Not only were there the moments that it was used to portray a disappearance of one of the main actors in the show, there was also times when it's just used so simplistically but so beautifully, and that is why I put it forward as my production and prediction. But like I say, I feel like it's gonna go to Sunset because a lot of that a lot of that show was video design and video productions. And finally, we have Best Graphic Design, which my brain takes as Best Poster. Argue with me, but I feel like that's what is the case. And we have Bob King Creative for Operation Mincemeat, Muse Creative for Guys and Dolls, Jeremy Coyston and North Design for Free Your Mind, The Creative Partnership for Stranger Things, Feast Creative for La Cage aux Folles, and Rick Guest, Rob Ray and the National Theatre Graphics Studio for Dear England. Again, I have completely forgot who I voted for. But if I had to guess now, I'm not going to look at it. It's literally going to be here. If I had to go for like Best Poster, for its ingeniousness and simplicity, and the fact that it is slash was, because I don't actually remember if the exhibit is still on, but it was in the V&A. I'm gonna go for Bob King Creative Operation Mincemeat. Are we ready? Ah, see, it was meant to be. I still think the same 3 weeks on. I do quite enjoy the Guys and Dolls poster. They have just changed it. Don't know if it's the same company or not, but it is slash was very snazzy. It's like simple, but Operation Mincemeat is just so clever. The night, like most of the time, people staring at it like it's just yellow with a squiggle on it, and then you realise it is Hitler's face. Genius. I'm not very arty, which you could probably tell by what I just said, but that is by the by. I've managed to get this all done and dusted, hopefully in not too long. I mean, I have now got to sit and edit this, and that's going to take a while. But that is okay. I do this for the love of theatre and as escape from my actual life. Anyway, fingers crossed and good luck to all the nominations. Obviously by the time this video goes up, the award ceremony will be happening, so we can see how many of these I've got very wrong. But I do hope that some of my want awards win. Like I said, Amy Trigg wins, I will be sobbing on the floor because I'm going to be so happy. Anyway, that is that. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and let me know who you think should win all the awards. Anyway, I love you all lots, and I hope to see you next time. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.